Hi, I'm Stephanie, and welcome back to Ready and Rooted Homeschool. Today, I'm going to be talking about 10 things that I really loved during our pre-K 3 year for homeschool, and things that I could not have made it through the year without. Some of them we just kind of picked up in the second half of the year. Some of them we've been using all year long. But I'm going to go through each of them and just kind of give you a picture. Some of them I might put a picture up on the screen, but others I will show you and discuss why I use them, why I love them, and why I would not have made it through this year without them. First thing that I wanted to bring up is something that we've just been using for the last couple of months, and I know I have talked about these I think in almost every video that I've done at this point, but they are the EBU flashcards for good manners, and then we also have one for emotions, and both of my girls love these. I've now even found when we're like out doing something, if we're out to dinner or whatever, and my daughter will bring up something that she learned in one of the manners flashcards, or we're at the table and she's all done with her food, she'll like put her fork on her plate properly and say like, this is my like good manners, like this is what I'm doing for good manners. And I just love that, and I think it's so great that she's recalling that information from when we go over it with our flashcards. So that is our number one thing. I got these on Amazon. I can link them down below as well. So I will do my best to do that in editing. The next thing that I want to talk about is dry erase sleeves. I think a lot of people in the homeschool world use these and know about these, but if you don't, these dry erase sleeves are great. So this is just our alphabet, or not our alphabet. The alphabet is on the other side. This is our calendar for the day that we just did this morning, but it's great because we can keep this in here every day, and then I just erase it off the next day and it's ready to go. I will sometimes also use these for writing practice. I've put like Play-Doh mats in here so we can do Play-Doh on them, and then it doesn't get stuck on the sheet or the paper. So I love these for all sorts of things. Speaking of these, I am going to pull out our alphabet because it's all drawn all over from doing this morning. But number 3 is going to be an alphabet chart. I started the year without an alphabet chart where we were just picking up a specific letter. But I find that for my preschooler, it has been great for her to be able to recall and kind of go back and look at the different letters. So it's been really great for her recall and just looking at them all together just to kind of see a full chart. So where we homeschool is pretty much our dining room table. Like we have our kitchen is to this side of me, their playroom is to this side of me, I am at our dining room table. And so it's just kind of like a big broad room. So I don't have a specific homeschool room or area where I can put a poster on the wall. So this just portable. It goes in our dry erase sleeve. And that has been perfect for us for an alphabet chart. I do also have a number chart, same way. And it just makes my life easier to have them more portable, especially when we don't have the space to have something on a wall. Speaking of not having things on a wall, I don't have it. I'm not going to bring it over here with me, but we have a huge whiteboard, and I will put a picture of it right there, of us doing something with it right there. And I love this ginormous whiteboard. We don't have it on a wall because we don't really have wall space in here to put it, but I do leave it in the playroom, but I do leave it in the playroom, and we can use it for whatever. So a lot of times they can trace on it. I'll write out letters. They can trace on it. I'll draw shapes on it for different letters. We've done number stuff on it. We've done matching. We've done erasing letters, all sorts of like letter and number work we've done on that huge dry erase board. And they love when I take out the big dry erase board. We've also done stuff with magnets on it. So I've done match the magnet letters to the letter that I put on the board. And they both both of my 4-year-old and my 2-year-old both really love using the giant whiteboard dry erase board. So if you have a wall that you can hang it on, that's awesome. We don't happen to have one, so I either lean it up against the wall, or I will rest it on a chair, or I rest it on the couch sometimes too. Just somewhere to put the whiteboard that we can just draw on it. Number 5 that I want to talk about is just pretty straightforward, and I think most homeschoolers do this and use this anyway, but your library and books are going to be your biggest resource in preschool. We read so many books every day. We read a book at breakfast, we read a book at lunch, we read books in the morning that are related to our subject that we're doing for the day or our unit. We read books at night. They read a book at night before going to bed with my husband. We'll read books during our wind down time at night. So we read so many books that I physically could not have that many books in my house. So the library, here's a little tag, is I should have had this as number 1 because it is the most important thing is having a library card and getting familiar with your library. So most of the librarians at the library know me. Know who I am. I guess I am one of the few people who request books the night before we go in. And so part of the reason why I do that is because with little kids, I mean, they go in and they want to be in the playroom, but I don't have time to keep an eye on them in the library so they're not being disruptive to other people who are enjoying the library as much as they're in the kids' room. But they wander, and so I don't have the time to like go through the shelves and look for all the books that we need. So I go on their website the night before. I put a hold on all of the books that I want, and in the morning, the librarians pull them and leave them at the counter for me. And so that has worked incredibly well. Sometimes they don't always have the books that I want, which is okay. I find close to what I need, and that's what we go with. But it has been a huge resource. One, obviously, for books for units so that I don't have to purchase a ton of books for everything that we were doing. But also, it's been a big resource for us as far as other things. So we'll go to their story time. This morning, we actually went to like a Messy Monday craft that they were doing. They do other events throughout the year. Even the co-op that we're in, they do some stuff in the library also. So we just belonging to the library and being more comfortable in the library. I recognize families who are always in the library with us and at story time and stuff. And it's just been a great place for my kids to be social and meet new people and interact with more people, as well as just a great place for us in general to find resources that we need. Some other things that we've gotten from the library before is they have like museum passes where you can get discounts to local museums. So we've used that before. And just all of that can be super helpful in your specifically preschool journey, but just homeschool journey in general. For number 6, I'm just going to show you a random paper that my daughter did this morning. But so we were working on the letter X, and so she was doing a color by number. And so this would be Teachers Pay Teachers. So this is going to be my example for Teachers Pay Teachers. I think I found Teachers Pay Teachers towards like November maybe. But I have heavily used it in the second half of the school year, especially when I was pregnant and postpartum with my third. Is I loved using Teachers Pay Teachers because it gave us a lot of extra resources without much effort on my part. And so what I do is sometimes I'll pay for them, but I also will filter for free. So say for this activity, I was just looking for letter X worksheets for preschool. And so I filtered it by letter X. So I filtered it by preschool. I wrote in letter X activities, filtered it by preschool, and then filtered it by free. And I was able to find a couple different worksheets for the letter X that were free, print them out, and then they were quick and easy to go. So especially when I was newly postpartum and in my third trimester of pregnancy, when I didn't have a ton of energy to put activities together myself, that was a great resource for just finding all sorts of things, whether it was for the unit study we were working on or anything else. It was super helpful. Also, both our morning calendar and our alphabet sheet both came from Teachers Pay Teachers as well. Some other things I have found on there that I really liked is just coloring pages. So around each holiday, I would find some coloring pages. I think I found a coloring page for New Year's. And so just all sorts of holiday things if you want to include them, or different morning calendar, alphabet. I just printed off some new 10 frames Someone had like a 10 frame and a 5 frame on there, so I printed those off. I'm going to laminate them myself. That was free on Teachers Pay Teachers. So it really is a great resource, especially as someone who's not a teacher. So I have no experience creating these resources. I do a ton of research and I do a lot of looking around for things, but I don't have any experience creating these resources. So that's even helped me kind of guide how I want to create resources for later on, based on looking through and seeing what different teachers have done for different grades in there, which is super helpful. So even just browsing that website, I think, can be very helpful, especially for a non-teacher homeschooling mom. Okay, next thing is some variation of a card game. We love Uno, and I love using Uno, a deck of cards. We play Go Fish. We play Crazy Eights. We've played Old Maid. They all have some variation of numbers and colors and letters, and you can use any of these games very easily, especially in preschool. So, and I'll filter the deck. So I'll make sure we only have like 1 through 5 out for Uno, and those will be the numbers that we're focusing on, and we'll work on matching colors, numbers. Yeah, so I love card games. I think they can be very beneficial, especially in the younger years. You're playing a game and learning as you go. So I think game schooling is something that I've looked into a little bit before. And I think there is definitely some good value in playing games and learning through games, especially when they don't feel like learning. Okay, I didn't feel like bringing our whole tub of these over. We have a ginormous collection of Magnatiles. These are fantastic for preschool for so many reasons. One, math, learning the shapes, squares, triangles. We've done whiteboard things where they match the shape onto the whiteboard. We just recently, in our dinosaur unit, I made dinosaurs out of outlining different Magnatiles. And so they had a ton of fun matching the Magnatiles to the whiteboard to put in the dinosaur and make the dinosaur. Even just like building, obviously. So I also have a 2-year-old. So we work a lot on like stacking and fine motor coordination. So creating things, building, stacking things, super important. We love the Magnatiles for that. They also can click onto your refrigerator. So we've done different things on our refrigerator. You can dry erase on them. I don't love to do it, so I don't do it a ton, but I have seen, and I've done, where you put like an uppercase on here and a lowercase on here, and you match them together. We may do a little bit more of that this year. I don't know. I've done it once. I don't love writing the dry erase on here, because if you forget to erase it, it's not going to come off super easy. But we have done that before. So the next thing that I think is super important with preschool is, and I underestimated this when my oldest was like 2.5, is the power of nursery rhymes and song and music in learning things. And so I just brought over our Tonie box because we use our Tonie box a ton, and we have a create your own Tonie. And on this little guy, I have all of our learning specific songs, and I can rotate them through. So we have a Spanish song that we sing that's on here. Last week we were doing the ocean, so I put Baby Beluga on here. And I just put on this little guy whatever songs we're currently working on learning, and they love to just pick this out and put it on. We also have a bunch of other nursery rhymes. One thing that they love doing is the freeze dance song is my 4-year-old's favorite thing ever. And so we have that on here, and she loves doing the freeze dance. She loves doing animal freeze and then the regular party freeze. Loves both of them. So those are all on this guy, and they will rotate in him as well as their other Tonies and dance and sing, and it is amazing the amount of memorization they can develop through learning. So I know I've said in past videos too that we do a Secret Stories alphabet song. The same Jack Hartman, he also does a See It, Say It, Sign It, which we're currently working on for learning the alphabet and sign language. And it's amazing what they can retain through music and video. So as much as we all want to be like no screen parents and all of that, don't underestimate the value of some screen and some education through screen that you can develop. We've done different Spanish songs on YouTube that we've watched, and colors and everything. And I know we've listened to Brown Bear in Spanish several times to work on our colors and animals. And so our Tonie, which is obviously screen free learning, but also YouTube videos. So this would be I think I'm on number 9. I think that's number 9. Number 9 is going to be the Tonie box and everything that comes along with that. Number 10, art supplies. So specifically watercolor. So kids love to paint. This watercolor is clearly very well used. And I don't buy expensive watercolors for my little kids. I think when they're older, maybe we'll get more fancy watercolors. But for right now, this works wonderfully. We love doing watercolors. I think they are neater than regular paint. They're washable, and it's very easy to do watercolor paint with your toddlers. The other thing is I will use a spray bottle, and so I'll spray water on all of the colors, and then you don't have a dip cup that can spill or make an additional mess. So watercolors would be my last final thing watercolors and craft stuff in general. So paint, markers, color pencils, we use all of those all the time. But I specifically really love some good watercolors because I think they're a little bit neater than regular paints. Those would be the 10 things that I think we used the most. I think they were the most beneficial for us in our preschool 3-year, and they were great. So if you are looking to start your preschool years, or in a lot of those will continue into our pre-K 4 year, but you're in the preschool years, these are 10 really great resources that you can use for your kids. I hope that was helpful. If you can, leave a comment, subscribe, do all those fun things in the bottom. This is my 4th or 5th video. I'm slowly getting into the rhythm of it, and I want to keep going with this channel. So hopefully you all don't mind the baby in the background either, playing on her little playmat. But yeah, so follow along, subscribe, and I will see you in my next video.